Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank all the veterans here today. I love this hearing. It's so great that you guys are back in town. I don't know about you, but I had a serious case of Zoom fatigue over the last 3 years. So it's just great. When you're walking the halls of Congress, it's nothing more important. And it's a giant honor for me to serve on this committee representing the state, which has more veterans per capita than any state in the country. Mr. Chairman, that might be the first time you've heard that, the great state of Alaska. That's a joke between us because I say that in every damn hearing for the last 8 years. So if you're from Alaska, can you please stand and come on, we got a great, there we go. How about a round of applause for my fellow Alaskans? And I know General Hartzell's here, so it's great to see you, sir. I want to begin by focusing on an issue that's we really need to solve here soon. It's been the fault of the Congress, and I'm hoping that this hearing and all of your meetings in different with different members of the Senate and the House can really make a strong advocacy of this, and it's the Camp Lejeune Vets Act. And I'm very honored, Commander Triola, that you emphasize this in your opening remarks. But for those who don't know what this is about, all you got to do is turn on the TV. It's really disgusting in my view. You got the Trial Lawyers of America who are working to rip off the veterans and families of sick Marines, okay? It's a choice. My bill is a choice between taking care of sick Marines and their families or enriching trial lawyers. I think the answer of every single one of you is, what should we be doing? Taking care of the Marines and their families, okay? I'm going to get a little political here. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle sometimes listen to trial lawyers too much. Not this goddamn time, all right? Not this goddamn time. I'm serious about this. We've had a hearing, there's been over $1 billion of advertising. You see it, it's still happening. No caps right now on contingency fees. There are some of these groups that are going to try and rip off people. It's simple. We need to put caps on the fees that lawyers are going to get on this Camp Lejeune issue for the sick Marines from Camp Lejeune. It's simple. And I'm so honored that the American Legion has endorsed this. Commander, do you want to speak to this? I know you put it in your testimony, and I really appreciate you doing that. But just how important it is, I know it's your top 1 or 2 priorities for the entire Legion, but enough. Let's pass this unanimous consent, Mr. Chairman. This is not hard, not hard. I go down, I try to do unanimous consent. Unfortunately, I get some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle who block me. This is baloney. Commander?
Senator, thank you. We share your concerns deeply. It is a disgusting thing every time you turn the TV on. But I'm going to defer to Lawrence Montreal. He's our legislative director in Washington, and he's going to speak to you in detail.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate your leadership on this issue, and I think we're all well aware of the billions of dollars that have been spent on advertising. Senator Tiller.
By the way, you think they're spending billions to take care of the Marine families?
No.
Hell no.
Senator Tillis has highlighted as well. And when we look at other pieces of legislation that govern lawsuits, whether it's accredited representatives representing individuals before BVA, they're capped.
Yeah.
Lawsuits under the FTCA are capped. We're just asking for the same thing to protect our veterans who've already suffered undue harm. We want to make sure they can secure access to legal representation, not taken advantage of. So we appreciate it, and we definitely support you.
By the way, the Biden administration Justice Department agreed with us, right? Your point is exactly right, that pretty much all other legislation that has these kind of recovery things, you cap the litigation fees. And these are, we're hearing stories of 60% contingency fees, I mean, that's criminal. That's stealing. And by the way, these lawsuits aren't even that difficult because the government doesn't have defenses, right? If you move it and prove it, it's not like going through big discovery. This is an abomination of the legal justice system, and I've never seen an issue that calls out for more justice. And I really hope my colleagues on this committee, because you know who you are, who've been blocking it, because you're putting the interests of trial lawyers before the interests of Marines and their families. It's disgusting. And I hope you guys raise it in every single one of your meetings. Tell you what, I'm going to try and you see this. That means unanimous consent. I go down on the Senate floor and I try and pass my bill. Then one of my Democratic colleagues usually blocks it, always blocks it. I'm going to do it again soon. And I'm going to do it on the basis of your power and influence. And I'm going to say, I spoke in front of our veterans. They went to all your offices. They all support it. It's one of the top priorities. The Biden administration, for God's sake, supports it. The Secretary of the VA was just in Alaska. I hosted him last week in my great state. He supports it. There's no reason that when I unanimously consent this next week that anyone should block it. And if they block it, Mr. Chairman, you should come down on the floor with me and help me move it. You going to do that, sir? How about getting the chairman to come and do unanimous consent with me?
Senator Sullivan.
You're hearing it. You're the chairman of the committee. Take care of our veterans, sir. Come on.
Senator Sullivan.
You know this is a big issue.
Senator Sullivan, it is a big issue, and we need to have access to lawyers. Do I think we need to have caps? Yes, we do have to have caps, but they have to be caps that allow a veteran to be able to have legal representation if they need it. And that is the rub. There are people that are working in a bipartisan way to get a solution for this, because you're right. It's not what we want to have happening to the money that we've appropriated, not to go in the line the pockets of lawyers, but to line the pockets of the people who have sacrificed for this country. And we don't need to have a debate on this in front of this. We're to hear from the Legion, and we appreciate it. And the other question I would just say is, you've used more time than King did. And so I've got.
Well, I thought, given the intro that we did, that you agreed to give me a few additional minutes. So I apologize for going over my time limit. Thank you,
I got to say, Mr. Chairman, it's the first time I've ever heard him say anything nice about the Biden administration. that was
That's
worth
true,
it.
but
it's good, but we do need to
on our
get.
side.
to
All right,
Senator
I'll yield back. Thanks again for all my fellow veterans here. It's great to see you. Thanks for your great advocacy, and we're going to get this done.
Yep.
We're going to get this done. We got to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sullivan. I know we'd like to debate this, Senator Sullivan, but
Chairman,
I
can I
love
speak one
debate.
point?
Trust me.
Just
Go ahead. One point.
One point. Again, my bill, which the American Legion has endorsed, has 17% trial lawyer award caps, which is reasonable, 12% caps on the filing. And so the American Legion has endorsed that, and we think that's fair, and I hope my colleagues agree with the American Legion. That's fair. There's no need for more compromise. The higher the caps, the less the families of sick Marines and sick Marines get. So
Thank you
the compromise has been done. Take 17%. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation.